Khaled Hosseini. Early life. Khaled Hosseini was born in Kabul, Afghanistan in 1965. His mother was a history teacher for a local high school, and his father was a Afghan foreign ministry diplomat. He moved frequently. In 1976, him and his family moved to Paris, where his father got a new job. His father worked at the Afghan embassy in Paris. And then at 15, they moved to Iran, where his dad got another job. And then in 1980, they moved back to Kabul, but due to Russian tensions, they started seeking asylum in the U.S. So they very soon moved to San Jose, where Hosseini had his full high school career and also went to university. He attended Santa Clara University to get his bachelor's in biology, and he also attended University of California, San Diego to get his med degree. Hosseini's inspiration for writing The Kite Runner, so this was in 2001. He had just graduated from his med degree and was a doctor, but he was still very interested in writing literature. Like, he had been throughout his high school career and his college career. That was one of his favorite pastimes. So he began writing The Kite Runner in 2001, very close to the 9/11 attacks. He wanted to put a better light on Afghanistan and show that it was much more than just terror and the Taliban. The book was based off his childhood events. Many of the stories in the book could be traced back to basically when he was a kid, and Hassan would have had a friend that he would have based Hassan off of, and his father he based off of his father in real life, basically Baba. His current life. He's currently Goodwill Envoy for the UNHCR, a refugee protection agency that builds houses and delivers food to refugees in Afghanistan, and also helps them out of Afghanistan if it's possible. He has two kids. He has two kids and a wife named Roya Hosseini. He is currently living in Northern California, where close to where he went to college and moved. He hasn't really moved much since he moved from Afghanistan. He is the founder of the Khaled Hosseini Foundation, which is a charitable foundation that helps with more housing and shelter, and raises funds for refugees in Afghanistan. He's a very reputable, his awards and reputation. He's a very reputable writer. He's very respected among authors for his books. His first book would have been The Kite Runner in 2001. Shortly after, in 2003, he wrote the book 1,000 Splendid Suns, which is also a very popular book. 38 million Kite Runner copies were sold worldwide. The awards he won: the Borders Original Voice Award for The Kite Runner, the San Francisco Chronicle's Best Book Award of the Year, and the Indies Choice Book Award for 1,000 Splendid Suns, which is a very renowned award for novels. Intended message of the novels. So he wanted to convey a strong example of what daily life in Afghanistan would have been like, especially growing up for him, to show that it wasn't what we would think. It was actually different from what we would think. He wanted to show Afghan culture, so religion, how they live with their families, how they are treated by their parents, how they treat their parents. He wanted to convey a strong sense of friendship and family. He wanted to show people how important it was to have strong relationship with your family. Also overcoming hardship in life with him immigrating to the U.S. and with Amir immigrating to the U.S. and overcoming the hardship of having to adapt to this whole new lifestyle. And he wanted to show people that it was possible, and he wanted to show redemption from sin. So like in the end of the book, Amir has to go back for Sohrab and redeem himself, and I feel like he does, and he wants to show people that even though they have had a bad time in life or have made bad decisions, they can still redeem themselves by doing good things. The Kite Runner and Hosseini's life. So he grew up in Kabul, as we know, and he had friends that he based a lot of the characters in his book off of. He based Soraya off of his wife, actually. He based life in America, like going to school and stuff, off of his life in America when he immigrated. So it's basically a story of his life, almost, in a way. His current opinion on Afghanistan. So he had an interview with the New York Times very recently, in August of 2021, to show more people. He wanted to show people that there was so much more to Afghanistan than the Taliban and violence and all these horrible things that are going on. He wanted to show the culture and just the ways of life, how beautiful it could be, or it can be, in Afghanistan, and just not what the media is shoving down our throats 24/7. He feels that people should become more educated on the history of Afghanistan. If you're more educated on the history of anything, you understand it in a better way. And he felt that if people were to read up on the history of Afghanistan, they would realize that it's much more peaceful of a place, and it's not the Afghan people that's what's wrong with Afghanistan, it's the Taliban, and that there's just much more to it. He says that it's always about the violence, it's always about the displacement, it's always about the drug trade, it's always about the Taliban. It's about the U.S. initiatives. There's precious little about the Afghan people themselves. So that quote basically means they're always talking about bad things going on in Afghanistan, and never shedding light on the good thing, the people in Afghanistan, the good culture. And sources.